So very good morning children, welcome to biology class, and today class will discuss the new topic, the classification about plants, or we can say that the plant classification. And the kingdom is, the living organisms are divided into two kingdoms. One is the plant kingdom and the second one is an animal kingdom. In today's class we are going to study about plant kingdom. Okay, so before going deep into that, first we learn that how this scientists they created the plant classification. What are the characteristic features they observed to place them in different groups? Okay, yes, the scientists they classified the plant kingdom in the three levels. We can term it as a first level of classification, second level of classification, and third level of classification. Okay, yes, three levels of classification: first level of classification, second level, and a third level of classification. Okay, in the first level of classification, what they observed means whether the living organism is having or are having well differentiated body structures or not. What they observed? They observed well differentiated body structures are distinct components. Okay, what are the well defined body structures in the plant? Obviously, shoot, root system, leaves. Okay, and the second one comes flowers, either they bear the seeds or not. These are all come under the distinct body differentiation, are well defined, well differentiated distinct components. Okay, when they have well defined distinct components and they place them in one particular group. For example, if they have the leaves and the root and they placed in one group. Okay, like that. Yes, in the second classification, what they observed here is whether they has a specialized tissue or not. First one is well differentiated body components, and the second one is whether they have specialized tissue or not. What comes under the specialized tissue? Here the specialized tissue is nothing but, and we'll say, vascular tissue. Vascular tissue means, you already studied in the class first topic, vascular tissue consists of xylem and phloem. Xylem is helpful for conduction of water and phloem is helpful for conduction of the food material. Then they observed that whether these plants they have the specialized tissue that is for the conduction of water or not. They observed and they placed them in different groups. That is the second level of classification. Whereas coming to the third level of classification, they noticed and they observed that whether they have ability to bear the seeds or not. Ability to bear seeds. Children, you know that when you get a seed, when there is a flower. When there are no flowers, there are no seeds. So with this it is clear for you. Some plants they are producing flowers and some plants they are not having flowers. Did you get my point? Some plants they produce flowers. Obviously the flower turned to seed, and some flowers there are no flowers and there is no question of the seed. Okay, we are going to study how this non-flowering plants they maintain their race. Okay, how these flowering plants they maintain their race. Flowering plants they show the sexual process, and non-flowering plants in a asexual method they maintain their race. Okay, yes. So that we are going to study one after one then. First, third one is what? The ability to bear the seeds. When they had the flowers, they kept it on particular group and they called as flowering plants, and then we can scientifically we'll call them as a cryptogame. Okay, cryptogams. When they have when they are not having flowers, they are called as cryptogams. When they have the flowers, we'll call them as a phanerogams, and then we'll call it as a flowering plants. Is it clear, children? The classification of the plants observed by the three levels. And first level of the classification is well differentiated distinct body structure. And the second level of classification is whether they possess the specialized tissue or not. Here the specialized tissue comes, okay, conduction of water, that is by xylem. And the next one is conduction of food material. This is xylem is for water and the phloem is for food. Okay, this comes under the specialized tissue. Whether the plants are possessing the specialized tissue or not, they observed. and the third one, they notice that whether they bear the seeds or not. Okay, if you see in the form of the flow chart, the plant kingdom is classified in the three levels I said. The first level is what? Whether they have differentiated body or not. Non-differentiated, this is not differentiated body, or we can say no differentiated body, otherwise we can say non-differentiated body we can say. Okay, whereas coming here differentiated body. Okay, when they are not possessing a differentiated body, some plants just like they have the thalamus. What is the meaning of the thalamus? Means just like a carpet they will grow, flat body structure. For example, I don't want to draw the things, children. I said already this particular topic is deleted, but I don't want to miss the explanation part, so that's the reason I'm explaining. You should aware about it. No doubt this particular topic is definitely will be helpful in your future. Okay, yes. So thallophytes, they have the flat body structure. We don't find stem, there will be no root, and there will be no the stem, flower, etc. Such a body is called as thallophytes, we can say that. Once again we'll study very clearly what are the points come under the thallophytes. Okay, yes. So differentiated body. In differentiated body, again they observed whether they have vascular tissue or they are not having vascular tissue. We hear VS I written, no, without VS. That means without vascular tissue. That is only nothing but with a specialized tissue. Okay, and the second one is with vascular tissue. They possess vascular tissue. That's nothing but xylem and the phloem. Okay, yes. So again, if you come to the without vascular tissue, the first comes pteridophytes. What is coming here? Yes. Without the vascular tissue, it comes bryophyta. Okay, they don't have any vascular tissue. Okay, bryophytes. How these bryophytes means they have a stem and they have the root, leaves, that's it. They possess the stems and the leaf-like structure. We don't find any root here. They have the root-like structures, they are called as rhizoids. Okay, that we are going to study later. Yes. So with the vascular tissue, the first divided into two. First one is the bryophytes, second one is the pteridophytes. Whereas coming to the bryophytes, and they don't have any vascular tissue, but they have a small the stems will observe, and we'll also find the leaves, and there is no vascular tissue. That means the water and the food, how it will be supplied means with the movement of the cytoplasm inside the cell itself, the supply of the food it will be takes place. Okay, yes. So without vascular tissue, which one it comes? Bryophytes. Okay, yes. Mars plant is an example. Next, if you come to the with vascular tissue, this group it will becomes pteridophytes. Okay, when we will come to the pteridophytes, again they classified into pteridophytes. They have the vascular tissue, we can say. They have the vascular tissue. Children, this point is very, very important. Out of the three parts, first one thallophytes, second one is bryophytes, and third one is the pteridophytes. And where the vascular system begins means we have to say that the primitive vascular system was developed in a pteridophytes. In thallophytes, no specialized tissue. In bryophytes, no specialized tissue. Whereas coming to this with the vascular tissue, which one comes? Pteridophytes comes. Okay, what they have pteridophytes? Primitive vascular system they develop. The primitive vascular system is helpful for the conduction of the water and the food material. That is with vascular tissue. Okay, two levels of classification is over. First one is what? Differentiated body structure. Differentiated body structure, based on that, first one is thallophytes. And second one is what? With the special tissue. With the special tissue, and we studied about the bryophytes. Without special tissue, bryophytes. With the special tissue, pteridophytes. And third level of classification is what? Ability to bear the seeds. Ability to bear the seeds, again, by observing that seed, and the plant kingdom again classified into two groups. What are the two means? One is an angiosperms and the second one is a gymnosperms. Angiosperms and gymnosperms. What is the meaning of the sperma? Sperma is explained like seed. Angio. Angio in the sense inside. Inside. The seed is enclosed. For example, mango. Where is the seed? Seed is inside. Guava. Where are the seeds? They're inside. Okay. Those are comes under the angiosperms. Angio in the sense, it's a Greek word. It explains enclosed. They have an enclosed seeds. And the second group is gymnosperms. Gymno, sperma means seed, gymno means naked. Naked in the sense the seed is outside. We can see deliberately the seed outside. If you go for the pinus plant, the pinus cone has a seed outside only. So leave about that cycas and the pinus, and one more best example, and we used to see that cashew nuts. Where the seed it will be the cashew nut? On the down of the cashew fruit, the seed it will be. It is a naked outside. Okay children, I hope this is clear for you. Based on these three characters, first one distinct component, and second one is what? Specialized tissue, and the third one is what? Whether able to bear the seeds or not. Okay, distinct body structure, thallophytes, specialized tissue, bryophytes and pteridophytes, and based on the seeds again classified into angiosperms and gymnosperms. I hope it is clear to you children. Once after my explanation, or after watching your video, once you go through the textbook, it is clear to you. Okay, now let me explain about the brief points what comes under the thallophytes. Okay, whereas coming to the thallophyte, I said they don't have distinct body structure. Mostly these are aquatic plants. They used to float on the water, and so we'll say that they are algae. Blue-green algae comes under this particular group. Okay, yes. So what are the examples for this? Means 6 examples are given in your textbook. One is the Spirogyra, Ulothrix, okay, Ulva is there, Cladophora is there, Cladophora, okay, Ulothrix and Spirogyra. Spirogyra, Ulothrix, Ulva and Cladophora and Chara. Yes, the Chara will also come under this particular group. Okay, these all 6 comes under the thallophytes. Okay children, yes. So the next group comes Bryophyta. Here, did you study anything about the specialized tissue? No specialized tissue, no xylem and phloem here. Okay, whereas coming to the bryophytes, and bryophytes are called as plant amphibians. I hope you know the term amphibian. What is how you can differentiate, identify the amphibians? Best example for amphibian is a frog. Frog can live both land as well as in water. As animals which are living on both land as well as in the water, and we'll call them as, we term it as amphibians. These bryophytes also, some they live on the water, in the water, and they live on the land also. That's the reason they are called as an amphibians to the plant kingdom. They live both land as well as in the water. Okay, whereas coming to here, the distinct level. Children, only one thing you have to learn here, in classification, the complexity levels increases from the lower levels to the higher regions while you are while you are studying. Here there is no special tissue. There are no plant body structure also components. But whereas coming here, there is a distinct components that they are stem as well as the leaf-like structures they produce. They don't have any roots, but the root, in the case of the root, they have the specialized structure. This bit is important children, and they are called as rhizoids. They have specialized structure called as rhizoids. And the next point you can say they don't have any specialized tissue. That means there is no conduction of water, there is no conduction of the food. Other systems helpful for the movement of this particular supply of the food and the water to the different parts like the stem as well as in the leaf. Okay children, is it clear? Yes. Next one, what are the examples come under this means? Moss plant, the scientific name is for the Funaria and Marchantia, and this the two will comes Riccia. Third one is Riccia also come under this particular group. Moss plant, Funaria, Marchantia and then Riccia. These 3 comes under the bryophyte groups. Bryophytes are called as plant amphibians. They live both land as well as in water. There is no specialized tissue. And what you are observing here, the examples, they don't have the root, but root-like structures they possess, and they are called as rhizoids. Is it clear, children? Yes. Examples: Funaria, Riccia, and Marcantia. And the last one is pteridophytes. That is, coming to the pteridophytes, well-defined body structures we'll see here. The pteridophytes, they have the roots, they have the stem, as well as they have the leaves. And another important point is here, they have primitive. The primitive vascular system was developed in this particular group. Or we can say the primitive specialized tissue, nothing but xylem and the phloem is developed, and they are helpful for conduction of water and the food material. Okay, yes. So example for this is a Marsilia and a fern plant. If you observe the fern plant and these plants, the pteridophytes, they have either thallophytes, pteridophytes and bryophytes. They have the special character called reproductive part here. That reproductive part is called as the spores. They are very minute structures. I hope maybe in our house, in our garden, when the regular classes, that time I'll show the leaves of this fern plant. Beneath the fern plant, they have the spores. They have inconspicuous spores. Inconspicuous spores. Actually, what is called spore means it is a reproductive microscopic unit, very light in weight. For the air currents, for the water, then it will be dispersed from the plant body, and it falls on the ground, and it will be reaches and it grows again the new plant. Okay, the word inconspicuous explained here, hidden seeds. Hidden in the sense what? Below. I said no, the leaf is above, and below we'll see the brown color spore like structures will be present. Okay, children? Yes, that is the term explains here. Inconspicuous, hidden seeds they have. Okay, yes. So the next comes, based on the seeds. Seeds, the plant kingdom is, they classified into two groups. The first one is angiosperms, and the second one is gymnosperms, we can say. Angiosperms and gymnosperms. I already said these points. Gymno means what? Naked. Sperma means what? Seeds. Naked seeds. All these plants are ever woody greeny plants. Ever woody green plants. Okay, our woody greeny plants. Okay, we can also say that these are perennial plants. What is the word explained here? Perennial plants. The word perennial explains here lifelong, throughout the year. See, some of the plants, some are seasonal plants. When the season begins, when the May month begins, and we are very much fond of with the jasmine flowers. We don't get the jasmines in the other seasons. Of course, nowadays, because of the hybridization techniques, we are seeing these flowers. But usually, some are seasonal and some are non-seasonal, and throughout the life. That is the meaning of the perennial. Okay, throughout the life, these plants they will grow. Okay, yes. Especially what I said here, gymnosperms means they have an naked seeds. The seeds are an outside they will present. Example here, the example for this particular the gymnosperms, Cycas and Pinus. Cycas and Pinus. Okay, whereas coming to this in angiosperms, what are called as an angiosperms? Angiosperm here is enclosed. Angio means what? Enclosed seeds. They have an enclosed seed. Seeds are inside. Okay, and these are mostly again divided into two groups, dicots and monocots. Dicotyledonous seeds and monocotyledonous seeds, we'll say that. Dicotyledonous seed means when you break the seed, if you get it two equal halves, and those plants or those seeds will come under the dicotyledonous seeds. Groundnut. Groundnut is the best example. You will get it two equal halves. Monocotyledonous means we will not get it two equal halves. Example, rice. Can you break the rice into two equal halves? Can you open it? Of course, you can break it. We can't open it. Coconut, can you open it like that? Groundnut, peanut, cashew nuts, all the nuts. We can get two equal halves. Such a things comes under the dicotyledonous, and if you are not able to open it into the two equal halves, that will come under the monocotyledonous. Children, is it clear? Like that, They observed 3 levels of the classification and they placed them in a different groups. Okay children, I'll send all the key points and make a note, and each group, each phylum, no need to draw all the diagrams, only for just your idea's sake, just whichever you feel more comfort to draw, that you can draw. Thallophyte, 2 diagrams. Bryophyte, 2 diagrams. Pteridophytes, 2, just you draw it in the one side rule. Okay children, that's all for today. Once again we'll meet in the next class. Bye.